Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's debate. My name is Xavier, and I am the chairman. What's your name? Rhea. And Rhea is a timekeeper. The adjudicator is Mr. Patrick Murray. The topic of this debate is that e-scooters in Adelaide should be banned. The affirmative team seated to my right is Mercedes College, and the negative team seated to my left is Westminster College. The speaking time for this debate is 3 minutes. A single warning bell will sound 1 minute before the speaking time. A double bell will sound at the speaking time. And a continuous bell may be rung 30 seconds after the speaking time, in which case the speaker must sit down immediately. Please ensure that your mobile phones and other electronic devices are switched down immediately. I declare this debate open and call upon the first affirmative speaker, Will.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. The topic for our debate is that e-scooters in Adelaide should be banned. We define the topic as e-scooters being vehicles with two wheels powered by electricity. Adelaide is the capital of the state of South Australia and refers to the central business district of Adelaide. According to the Oxford Dictionary, ban means officially not allow something. We, the phone team, strongly believe that statement is true. Today, as first speaker, I will be talking to you about how e-scooters are non-environmentally friendly, they are unsafe for riders, and they are not aesthetically pleasing to the eye. Our second speaker will be talking about how e-scooters are not covered by insurance, they are a danger to pedestrians, and they promote theft and vandalism. Our third speaker will rebut and sum up our team case. My first point that proves that e-scooters in Adelaide should be banned is that they are not as environmentally friendly as they sound. This is because the lithium battery lifetime on e-scooters is quite short, and according to entrepreneur.com, the battery needs to be replaced every 300 to 1,000 charges, depending on the battery provider. On top of this is the fact that the average life expectancy of an e-scooter is only 28 days. This is due to both scooter vandalism and the weak resistance of e-scooters. Most importantly, this means that they are not a sustainable product. My second point that proves e-scooters in Adelaide should be banned is that they are a safety issue to the general public, as scooters are capable of speeds up to 25 kilometers an hour. Injuries have been a concern in Australia and worldwide. According to jetcharge.com, in Brisbane, where e-scooters were first used, there were 60 scooter-related injuries reported over a 3-month period. And according to suncorp.com, there's even been one reported death related to scooter use in Brisbane. If we can stop just one death from occurring in Adelaide, then surely banning e-scooters must be seen as a positive. E-scooters are nowhere near as stable as bikes, and according to the website Europe and Me, a US study found that the rate of injury for e-scooter riders is 100 times the rate for cars or bikes. My final point that proves that e-scooters in Adelaide should be banned is that they're not aesthetically pleasing. Scooter users leave their scooters wherever they like, and the city ends up cluttered with brightly coloured scooters which are left lying around haphazardly. According to entrepreneur.com, e-scooters are an eyesore and are often left in random places, blocking pedestrian pathways. So, Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, we, the phone team, most definitely believe that e-scooters in Adelaide should be banned. Remember, be a smart commuter and reject the e-scooter.
call upon the first negative speaker, Yanja.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. The topic for our debate is that e-scooters in Adelaide should be banned. We, the negative team, resolutely believe that this statement is false. We agree with the definition stated by the affirmative team. The first affirmative speaker has tried to tell you that there has been one death in Brisbane. This is wrong because the death was due to the personal choice of the user, which was being under the influence of alcohol. Today, as the first speaker, I'll be talking to you about the background of e-scooters as well as the safety and regulations. Our second speaker will be talking to you about how e-scooters are a cheap, flexible and efficient transport and that they are environmentally friendly. Our third speaker will rebut and sum up our team case. This year, at the Adelaide Fringe, there was a trial of e-scooters owned by the company Lime. This proved very successful, as there were more than 140,000 trips recorded, according to an ABC News report. This success prompted a tender process by the Adelaide City Council. The council had a set criteria, with safety concerns being the priority. The first criteria was that they had to restrict the speed limit to under 15 kilometers per hour to protect pedestrians from the impact of an e-scooter. This is safer than a bicycle, which has no speed restrictions. The second criteria was that an e-scooter had to be able to brake effectively, have warning devices and lights to prevent an accident with pedestrians. If a rider is out of the designated area, such as Rundle Mall, the rider is given a warning and the scooter stops automatically without damaging the rider. The third criteria was the preferred parking technology. This avoids Adelaide having e-scooters cluttered around the streets, as there are designed pick-up and drop-off zones. Furthermore, e-scooters are fitted with a GPS tracking system so that the users and operators can locate them at any time, stated the Adelaide City Council. An e-scooter is equipped with its own helmet. The user also has to be over 18 years of age. The same laws for driving a car or motorcycle apply to an e-scooter user, including the fact that the rider cannot be under the influence of alcohol. If these crucial laws are not obeyed, severe penalties can be levied, including fines from $57 to $2,500, demerit points, license disqualification, and even imprisonment in some cases, according to the Adelaide Transport Department. So, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, we believe that e-scooters should scoot their way onto our streets. Thank you.
I call upon the second affirmative speaker, Scarlett.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. The topic for our debate is that e-scooters in Adelaide should be banned. We, the affirmative team, strongly believe that this statement is true. The negative team has stated that it would be a cheap way to get around. We disagree with this because it would be cheaper to walk. The negative team has also stated that it would be environmentally friendly. We disagree with this because walking is the most environmentally friendly form of transportation. Our first speaker has already explained that e-scooters are not environmentally friendly, they are unsafe for riders, and that they are not aesthetically pleasing to the eye. Today, I'll be talking to you about 3 points. My first point that proves that e-scooters should be banned in Adelaide is that they are not covered by insurance like other vehicles. According to the Anderson Solicitors website, one of the major e-scooter companies, Lime, reserves the rights to hold the rider responsible to all injuries caused, and to not cover the insurance for either the injured person or the rider. Unlike other vehicles, the rider of the e-scooter is not required to cover their injured person's insurance. This means that people who have been injured by e-scooters have no guarantee for compensation from either the rider or the e-scooter company. The question of liability should an accident occur cannot be overlooked or understated. My second point that proves that e-scooters should be banned in Adelaide is that they are a danger to pedestrians. E-scooters can reach speeds up to 25 kilometres per hour, and they have to be used on footpaths. This means that they can crash into pedestrians, resulting in injury or even death. E-scooters darting in and out of sidewalks can cause issues for pedestrians, especially people with disabilities such as sight impairment and also the elderly. According to the SA Best website, New Zealand banned e-scooters after there were 1,200 injuries claims for e-scooters in the 6 months since they were first introduced. My third point that proves that e-scooters should be banned in Adelaide is that they promote theft and vandalism. Approximately 11,000 helmets were stolen from scooters in Brisbane in the first 6 months of operation. And according to thejetcharge.com, users have also been found misusing or vandalising the scooters themselves. Some of the vandalism, according to Forbes.com, is a result of frustration felt by people who come across the e-scooter scattered across the skywalk, blocking the way. So, Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, we undoubtedly believe that e-scooters in Adelaide should be banned. Remember, be a smart commuter and reject e-scooter.
I call upon the second negative speaker, Diane.
Good evening. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, the topic for our debate is that e-scooters in Adelaide should be banned. We, the negative team, undoubtedly believe that this statement is false. The opposition falsely stated that e-scooters are an eyesore. This is wrong because the Adelaide City Council, in their tender process, ensured that all operators have preferred parking technology. Both operators also offer a reward system for parking the e-scooters in the allocated area. The opposition has also stated that the e-scooters are not controlled and speeds may go out of hand. This is wrong because the e-scooters are electrically controlled and can fine you if you exceed speed limits. Our first speaker has already spoken about the safety and regulation of e-scooters. Today I will be talking to you about 3 points. Now to my first point, how e-scooters are environmentally friendly. This is because they produce zero CO2 emissions, reduce noise pollution, and are recyclable. All decommissioned scooters are recycled, and what cannot be recycled will be disposed of in a sustainable way, according to Ride.co. The line map states that every mile travelled mitigates roughly 350 grams of carbon, so that's a reduction of 3,500 grams of carbon if they run for 10 miles a day. The CO2 produced to charge 5 million scooters will emit CO2, which is less than 2% of CO2 produced by the same number of cars. Now to my second point, that e-scooters are cheap means of transport. This is because the e-scooters are cheaper to operate than compared to fuel-based scooters and bikes. The batteries are also much more affordable to charge. It only takes 3 to 5 hours to charge, states Lyman Bird websites. The cost of unlocking an e-scooter is just $1 and then 25 to 30 cents per minute to use, according to the Property Council of Australia. My third and final point is that e-scooters are flexible and efficient. This is because e-scooters are easy to park, time-saving, easily portable and lightweight, only 13 to 14 kilograms, which can be parked in compact spaces and bike racks. According to propertycouncil.com.au, with more than 140,000 e-scooter users during a recent trial period in Adelaide during the Fringe, it goes to show the degree to which people have found travelling short distances with e-scooters enjoyable and convenient, given all you need is an app-to-rent vehicle. So, Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, we, the negative team, unwaveringly believe that e-scooters shouldn't be banned in Adelaide. E-scooters are cheaper than cabs, less effort than a bike, and more convenient than a bus. Thank you.
Call upon the third affirmative speaker, Sophia.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. The topic for our debate is that e-scooters in Adelaide should be banned. We, the affirmative team, strongly believe that this statement is true. The negative team has tried to tell you that e-scooters are a quick way to travel. This is wrong because people can leave e-scooters wherever they want and you might not be able to find one where you need it. The negative team also tried to tell you that e-scooters are good for the environment. This is wrong because e-scooters will add to pollution as the people using the scooters would otherwise have been walking, which contributes absolutely nothing to pollution. The negative team has tried to tell you that e-scooters are a cheap way to get around. This is wrong because it would be cheaper to walk because walking costs nothing. The negative team said that e-scooters are recyclable. We disagree because you still need to make the scooter, which uses resources and which uses batteries. The negative team has also tried to tell you that e-scooters are a fun way to travel. We disagree with this point because if something is potentially unsafe, then it would not be fun. Getting injured or in fact killed cannot be classed as fun. Our first speaker spoke to you about how e-scooters are not environmentally friendly. According to North Carolina University, e-scooters produce more greenhouse gases per mile than travelling by bus, bike, moped or on foot. He also spoke to you about how e-scooters are unsafe for riders. According to ladders.com, only one of 190 injured scooter riders were wearing a helmet at the time of the injury. This means people are not following the rules, which would be dangerous. He also told you that e-scooters are not aesthetically pleasing. According to the Adelaide Review, e-scooters end up cluttering pavements, making the area very unattractive. Our second speaker told you that e-scooters are not covered by insurance, like other vehicles. This would end up being very costly in the case of an accident. She also said that e-scooters are a danger to pedestrians. According to the Adelaide Review, e-scooters litter our footpaths, harm pedestrians, and cause injuries. She also said that e-scooters promote theft and vandalism. According to The Guardian, scooters are targets for vandalism and destruction. So, Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, we, the affirmative team, strongly believe that e-scooters in Adelaide should definitely be banned. Be a smart commuter and reject the e-scooter.
Upon the third negative speaker, Sarah.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. The topic for tonight's debate is that e-scooters should be banned in Adelaide. We, the negative team, unwaveringly believe that this statement is false. The opposition has stated that e-scooters are unsafe and have caused many injuries. This is obviously untrue because, as discussed by our first speaker, the Adelaide City Council put into effect very strict criteria to address safety concerns after the first trial. There were no reported injuries during the trial. Therefore, e-scooters are very safe. The opposition has attempted to tell you that the speed of e-scooters can't be controlled. This is clearly incorrect because beam and ride operators can warn a rider and slow to stop an e-scooter if it is going too fast or if it is outside of the precinct. The riders of the e-scooter have to be responsible in the way that they operate the e-scooters, exactly like the drivers of motorbikes and cars. Once again, we have not banned cars and motorbikes just because they have hurt people. The opposition has wrongly argued that e-scooters are bad for the environment. The opposition has falsely stated that e-scooters are bad for the environment. Our second speaker has shown that e-scooters are more eco-friendly than other modes of transport. This is because e-scooters do not contribute to the carbon footprint. The opposition has wrongly stated that e-scooters are not cost-effective. This is clearly wrong because our second speaker has convincingly argued the cost-effectiveness of e-scooters in Adelaide. It is currently the cheapest mode of transport in Adelaide. Now I will summarise our team's arguments. Our first speaker spoke to you about the background of e-scooters in Adelaide. Following the first successful trial during the Fringe Festival, the Adelaide City Council put out a tender for 2 companies that met the very strict safety criteria. The ability to restrict speed, braking effectiveness, and preferred parking technology. There were no reported accidents during the initial trial. Our second speaker mentioned that e-scooters do not leave a carbon footprint and is environmentally friendly. They are a cheap and convenient way to get around the city and will ease the traffic congestion. So, Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, we the negative team firmly believe that the use of e-scooters is evolving, but e-scooters are definitely here to stay and must not be banned. Thank you.